Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Jijimon back with another vlog. I'm not going to waste any time here and just get right into it. So, our Digimon have evolved once again. On Deep Savers, Sangomon has evolved into Shellmon. I'm a really big fan of Shellmon. I especially like his VPET sprite. I think it's so cool. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm really a fan of that. And on Nightmare Soldiers, Ghostmon has evolved into Flare Lizardmon or Flare Rizamon, depending on which translation you go with. I know even Bandai can't even make up its mind. It kind of changes depending on the media, what name they go with. Yeah, I'm actually really excited to have both of these guys, especially Flare Rizamon. I think it's such a cool Digimon. It doesn't show up quite enough, especially on VPETs. I think this is the first VPET that it's actually showed up in. It might have been on one of the XLs. But yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to get them. I'm always a little bit nervous when it comes to getting evolutions with care mistakes. I'm always paranoid, like, did I count my care mistakes right? But yeah, I guess I did in this case. So Ghostmon needed 3+ care mistakes to evolve into Flare Rizamon. Today, I want to do something a little bit special, and I'm going to be Jogressing these two together. I think I remember who they Jogress into, but we'll find out here pretty quickly. So we're gonna Jogress. Go the connect. Now I like the little jingle that plays here for Jogress. That's not something that was on the original Pendulums. On the original Pendulums, when you Jogress, it just plays the regular battle connection sound. I don't know if this comes from anything else or if it's unique to the Pendulum Z's. So let's go ahead and do this. This is so hard to line up on camera. There we go. So we've got on Deep Savers, Mermaidmon, and on Nightmare Soldiers, Chimeramon. Mermaidmon, I don't have particularly strong feelings about, but Chimeramon I think is very cool. And I think it's fitting that he can only be gotten through Jogress on this device, since he is just kind of a mishmash of random Digimon. And I'm excited too because Chimeramon is going to be showing up on the new wave of Digimon Colors. I think the version 3 is the version he'll be showing up on, which is kind of an odd choice, to be honest, for them to put on the version 3, because none of the Digimon that make up Chimeramon are on the version 3, but I think they just did it like that because they wanted to have a Jogress between, each pair of Wave 2s. So they needed a Jogress between the version 3 and version 5. So they were like, we'll make it Millenniumon and put Chimeramon on the version 3. But I'm not complaining. I mean, the version 3 is my favorite of the original rosters. I'm glad it's getting a little extra love. And it's also my favorite shell of the original 3, I think. I'm also a huge fan of the fact that they went with new megas for the Digimon Colors. At first I was a little taken aback by it. I wasn't sure what to think. I had my preconceived ideas of what the megas were going to be for each device. When they switched it up, I was a little surprised. Yeah, now that I've had some time to think about it, I think it kind of works. I'm glad they went with some lesser used choices like Gokumon and Raidenmon. I think Raidenmon is very cool. I think it would have been neat if they did it as a Jogress. So for those of you who are unaware, Raidenmon is initially from Digimon World 3. And it was a Jogress between 3 different Digimon whose names escape me. I think it was Fujinmon, Raigenmon, and maybe Suijinmon, and they would combine into Raidenmon. I think it would have been neat if they found a way to incorporate each one of those 3 into the different versions on the Wave 2s, and you could just Jogress any 2 of them together into Raidenmon. But I'm glad he just got some kind of place on these virtual pets. I almost wasn't even aware of Raidenmon's existence, just because I've never played Digimon World 3, but I'm also a fan of the fact that they have tiny little Nanomon evolve into completely massive Raidenmon. This is me from the future interjecting because I wanted to talk about what my predictions for the new Jogresses for the Wave 2 Digimon colors are going to be. And I forgot to mention that in the video itself. So I'm back again. So we already know right now that there will be one Jogress between each of the two versions. So version 3 and 4, version 3 and 5, and version 4 and 5. And we know their kind of sprite outlines. So they actually recently confirmed in a video that one of them is Chaosmon. That's not a huge surprise. So that would be a Jogress between the version 3 and 4. As soon as we saw Darkdramon and Bonchaleomon, I think everyone kind of unanimously agreed that Chaosmon was going to be their Jogress. Plus, from the sprite outline, we could kind of tell he has been on a virtual pet before. He was on the Digimon Pendulum 20th, I believe. Then the other two, I'm 50-50 on what these are going to be. So we know one of them is going to be Millenniummon. We don't know for sure, it hasn't been confirmed, but we do know that Chimeramon is on here. Again, we don't know, but we see the outline of Chimeramon's sprite, and it's exactly the same as it is on the Pendulum Zs. And we know Mugendramon's on the version 5, so I don't see any reason why they would include Chimeramon on these devices and not have Millenniummon, at least in some form. Whether that's regular Millenniummon or Z Millenniummon, who knows? But as for which sprite is going to be Millenniummon, I'm not too sure. So on the left, we have what looks like a modified Rust Tyrannomon sprite. And on the right, we have something that hasn't shown up in anything yet. So, or at least not that I can tell, and I don't think anyone has been able to find a match for this sprite. So there are a few theories floating around. Some say the one on the left is going to be Millenniummon, because just its backpack looks like it could easily be Millenniummon's canon. I'm kind of in the camp that the one on the right is going to be Millenniummon for a couple reasons. One, if it's regular Millenniummon, Millenniummon is usually shown hunched over on its official art. I think it actually has 4 legs plus 2 arms, and it's a very bulky design. So I could easily see that being Millenniummon just kind of hunched over in the sprite, or it could be Z'd Millenniummon. I think this is a little less likely, but Bandai does seem to really like Z'd Millenniummon, so who knows? I could easily see there being 2 faces in that design. The one thing that I'm not entirely sure about that kind of makes me think maybe this isn't Millenniummon is the placement of the horn on the face. It doesn't seem to line up with how the horn is placed on his official artwork. And another reason why I think the one on the right is Millenniummon is that we still don't know what the Jogress between version 4 and version 5 is going to be. And we don't even know which Digimon will be involved. My guess is that Blue Mordmon is going to be one of the Jogress components for that fusion. And the reason I say that is that Darkdramon is already being used on this device to create Chaosmon, and Genkumon just got a Jogress recently on the Digital Monster X to form Jesmon GX. Plus, Blue Mordmon is such a popular new Digimon that I could easily see Bandai creating a Jogress for it. So my thought is, the backpack on the sprite on the left kind of looks like butterfly or fairy wings to me. So I'm thinking it's probably a fusion between Blue Mordmon and probably Gaiumon or Gaiomon to form like a plant dinosaur or fairy dinosaur of some kind that has those fairy wings. But that's just my theory. I just wanted to put that out there just in case I'm right, so I can say I told you so if I am. And then if I'm wrong, then we can pretend this never happened. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Back to the video. But yeah, so back to these guys. I could just Jogress them again. I don't really want to do that. I think just like trying to speed run these devices takes a little bit of the fun out of it. You can see they're 2 years old right now. becoming mega by the time they're 2 years old is kind of ridiculous to me. I'm going to keep these guys as they are for a little bit. And then one thing I want to do, I mentioned at the start of this run that I have a mock Galgamon in backup that I want to Jogress into Baihumon. So I needed to raise another data. So now I've got 2 datas here. One of them is going to Jogress with the Nature Spirits. One of them is going to evolve on its own. I think Deep Savers, I'm going to just leave to evolve on its own. And then once that evolves, I'm going to Jogress these 2 into Baihumon, and I honestly don't remember who this guy Jogresses into. I'll leave that as a surprise for myself, I guess. So let's just take this guy. Oh, that's the wrong one. Take this guy out of backup. Oh, okay, sweet. I for some reason I thought when they were in backup they lost their hearts, but apparently not. This was a little bit of a botched run on my part. I had initially plans to do, you know, Galgamon, mock Galgamon, but I woke up late one day after he evolved into Wanyamon, and I got some care mistakes by accident. I thought I only got 1, but I must have gotten more than that, because he didn't evolve into Gaomon, he evolved into Plotmon. I thought I had ruined the run then and there, but there was still a path to victory. I was able to evolve Plotmon to Unimon and then mock Galgamon. I could just evolve this guy into Mirage Galgamon, but I'd rather save that for a run where I go like the full Gaomon route. I don't know why I feel that way. It just doesn't feel thematically consistent to go from Unimon to mock Galgamon to Mirage Galgamon. I kind of like to mix it up a little bit. So yeah, that's this guy. So these guys are going to be running for a while anyway. This guy I'll have to train up so it can evolve into its mega form, and then these 2, they'll just be kind of doing their own thing, and then when the time is right, they'll Jogress together, and yeah, that'll probably be when I do my next update. That's it from me. I'm going to sign off here. This is Jijimon, signing out. Peace.